last match, and we might end up having a decider between Osu and Paper Guy later on. Well, I mean, no matter what, the match between Osu and Paper Guy will have significance, regardless of what happens here, but we won't know if it's going to be for first place or just an eliminator for second place until this one's over. If Problems wins here, then he wins the group 3-0, no questions. And they're off. The sync will be fixed shortly, but for now Osu slightly synced ahead. And fixed, pretty much. Still a tiny bit off, but much better than before. And you can see that Problems mashing is actually quite a bit better. And yeah, now they are really synced. Problems with about half a second lead from the intro mashing. Good way to start your quest for the 3-0. Paper Guy, of course, will be hoping that Osu wins here so that he gets another chance at winning the group, but no matter what, his fate is in his own hands still. So just, I think, working out some technical difficulties with Paper Guy on the commentary, or he's just not saying much, but either way, we'll just get into the opening rival fight. Both runners are even, so I assume they both took the PC potion. Osu's stuttering a little bit on the nicknaming screen, just making sure he doesn't get Squirtle. So a problem with a couple of seconds lead now. Perhaps not quite that much, perhaps more like a second, but still. Osu with first turn growl, Problems without, so another slight advantage for him straight off the bat. Looks like he's...
Looks like got everything fixed now, sorry about that.
Okay, so yeah. They're not too far, so no real harm done.
Yeah, I like Osu's palette, one of the first things I noticed.
He's got good taste.
Yes, the blue palette is a lot more relieving to look at, I think. My opinion.
There is like an obscure form of the Nidoran Minip where you can do a palette, but you have to drop it at the Cans Minip.
Yeah, I really wanted to find the Cans Minip just so I could, with palette switch, just so I could choose the palette I want for the rest of the game. I think there is one, but it sacrifices some frames that work.
Problems is through the rival fight first, by perhaps a predictable amount given that he didn't get the turn 1 growl and Osu did.
Yeah, turn 1 growl matters a lot. That's one of the pretty much one of the only things that matters in this fight is turn 1 or turn 2 growl.
So Problems running away from a rat, so either it's level 4 or it was level 3 and he just doesn't feel like killing a level 3. Rewarded by level 2 Pidgey.
That's a level 4 rat.
Okay.
I wouldn't go for it that early. I would probably take one on the second trip up though.
Osu is a level 3 rat, yeah. So you can see the contrast between the two most common encounters that you kill.
Osu getting destroyed by encounters there. He got 3 in the last 2 bushes.
No problem ahead by the length of the Viridian City trip, probably one encounter at this point. I don't think that Their route ones were too different, but Problems did have that lead. Problems YOLO grasses, not ideal to play, but
he gets rewarded. I think Osu got one extra encounter. So the gap widened a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean it was a decently sized gap out of the rival fight, so that's why I thought it might be the same amount, but either way, he is still ahead by maybe 15-20 seconds. Get an actual number when he leaves the lab because they've both already killed an encounter. So 529 for Problems. Could be almost like a 550 for Osu actually. But not a completely clean second pass on Route 1, so the gap won't be widening too far.
Hopefully Osu will get a chance to catch back up a little bit.
Yeah, it's actually about 25 seconds coming out of Oak's lab, so I suppose you were right about it being one more encounter.
Problem only gets one, so Osu will need 0 to have any time gain here.
Almost. That is guaranteed to only be one. It's on the perfect step to guaranteed not get another encounter, but it does mean that he doesn't actually gain any time.
Here's Problems starting the Nidomanip. He does like to switch Pokeballs to the top here. I guess he's not comfortable with doing the second slot YOLO Ball, which some would say is easier.
I mean, yeah, that is not at all difficult, it's just the heat of the moment kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I just think if you're cognizant to switch the items, you should be cognizant to YOLO Ball in slot 2, but...
No, he gets it. You just... No problem with the YOLO Ball either, so... He will maintain at least his current lead through Nidoran Manip, although... We could see a surprise Forest Manip from Osu. I'm somewhat skeptical of that happening, but... It would be one way to close a little bit of the gap.
I don't think too many runners in the tournament have looked into it, other than, I think, Pokeguy and Shiru.
Yeah,
I think
hopefully
Hammer's done a little bit,
able to do it in the knockouts. Yeah, so Osu taking his time and naming the Nidoran B. You can still do Forest Manip if you name it B with good buffering, but highly doubtful that that's the case here. Of course Gun has done Forest Manip as well, and he's the one who does Forest Manip while naming his Nidoran B, so I guess there are at least 3 or 4 people that might be doing it in the knockouts.
Problemstrol gets nothing to Weedo Guy.
Yeah, don't need Manip that much, although it still saves a fair amount of steps, about 6 steps, or no, 8 steps.
It saves quite a bit of time just picking the yellow grass. Which isn't yellow anymore, but... Problems also has a really good start to his Weedle fight here.
Osu... 0 encounter forest for Osu as well, thankfully. We've had a couple of races where there's been about 5 total encounters in the forest between the 2 runners, and obviously that's not very common, but nice to see 0 for once.
Problems gets a really clean Weedle fight there.
Yeah, that is very good.
6 turns with no poison.
Osu might be on pace to match it though, although it looks like he's 5-shotting. Whether it's because of 10 attack or just really bad rolls, I don't know. But either way, he gets poisoned, so regardless, he's not quite as good. Though this late of a poison and not missing a tackle, you can take it. And he's got plenty of health so that he can still use only one potion and still get full health, even with the damage from the poison.
Yeah, Osu walked all the way over the grass. I don't necessarily agree with that play, but...
Well, he should have, at that point, probably committed to taking it all the way into the gatehouse so that he could save the turn frames at least.
Yeah, if he's going that far with it, I do think it's worth healing off the antidote and just switching early, risking the Weedle encounter instead of taking the guaranteed time loss from the antidote frames. Given that forest encounter rate's so low.
Problems into the Brock fight, we'll see whether he has good special or not.
Yeah, I didn't see if he checked on Weedle Guy. Looks like he did.
He has good special, but he got crit by Geodude.
And then Geodude missed. Was that a miss? Or was that defense curl? I missed it.
I think it was D-curl. Either way, Max up for the crit. So now, well, he's still on 2 tackle HP, which is not necessarily ideal, but barring something like Screech into double tackle or 2 tackle crits,
yeah,
he'll survive.
He will most likely. He would die to a crit plus a regular, but that's dependent on some rolls. Osu also, well, I don't know. He crit.
Yeah, that doesn't look like an especially good crit roll, but could still be good special because the damage rolls on this fight are really funky.
Problems gets the red bar here. He risked the tackle crit for red bar.
Saves a lot of time though. Just like free 10 seconds or
Does
whatever.
save a lot of time. Their fights are pretty much identical so far. Osu also gets first turn by.
Okay, so yeah, Osu does have bad special, but ultimately that isn't going to matter. Apart from the extra turn on Onyx, since he didn't even take an extra turn on Geodude.
Very good fight for bad special there.
No red bar from him, so he falls a bit further behind based on that and also the extra turn. He's probably almost a minute behind at this point, but it's still anyone's game at this point for how early you are in the race and how comparable these two players are.
Yeah, I think this race should be pretty close. Based on Problems PB and how Osu's been doing.
Problems does fail the 2 hit on the first Caterpie, 1 HP, so gotta tackle that. Gets the immediate strength shot from the Weedle though, so... I mean, he didn't spend an extra horn attack on that first Caterpie, you always expect to spend 2, but he might be able to get the tackle here to begin saving horn attacks for later. Problems is up on the Mega Punch minute, and he might even force Mega Punch, depending on how the run is going. I'm not sure if he actually even knows Palette Swap Minute yet. He said on his last race that he hadn't learned it yet. Which is a very interesting situation to be in where you can only do Mega Punch, but if it works for him, it works for him.
For sure. I've seen him do it both runs and he's got it both times, so...
You'll probably see him potion before last unless he's already at very high health.
Problems saving for short sky here, being safe.
Yeah, Lear's Rattata, which is another sign that you're going for Mega Punch. Because you can save another Horn attack on this Rattata if you feel risky enough, but criticals, which means that he does need to use a second Horn attack. None saved.
Yeah, and you're not even guaranteed to get the tackle range, even with Lear, so...
Well, he got 2 tail whips, so it was pretty damn likely. But then
Yeah,
critical,
for sure.
scuppered. Ekin's playing nice, but now he's at -3 defense, so Rap is going to do a lot, but no Rap, so clean enough.
Good.
At this point, the ideal for him is probably an absolutely no damage on the bug catcher to have 19 going into the last, but he might just choose to heal regardless.
Yeah, for sure. Here, he probably doesn't want to go in around 16. 16's a little dangerous. You can potion turn 1 or something if you'd like. Osu also has a pretty clean short sky.
Yeah, you'd expect Osu to be the opposite though, only doing Pallet Manip and not doing Mega Punch just yet.
No.
So both of them are kind of predictable, but which one will pay off more we'll have to see. Osu actually also at kind of decent health for Mega Punch, or would be. Problems didn't get hit by the Weedle at least, although that's still only 1 damage. But those fine margins of HP can matter on the Lass. Yeah, he's got string shot at least once by it as well, so... Yeah, now at least speed tied, if not just slower than the Metapod. Because I wasn't watching whether he got 1 string shot or 2 on the Weedle. Well,
Looks like
either way... Yeah, it looks like he must have been double string shotted by Weedle, so just slower than the Metapod. That or he lost every single speed tie so far. So he has to expend 4 Horn attacks on the Metapod, but he did save 1 artificially on the Caterpie by leering it. Yeah, we see him potion from 16 in a race, that's fair enough if you're kind of forced into Mega Punch and you are too low on health. Don't really have any other choice.
Problemstrol is going for Mega Punch, looks like, starting the last.
No real shot at Red Bar, but he might be more comfortable that way anyway, because I would have my doubts that he would be doing the Pidgey into Nerd, or Pidgey into Paris Extended Minute. Well, that one's really hard to execute on Red Bar anyway. But... In any case, he will be slightly sketchy on Horn attacks for Mount Moon, but 4 is plenty. It's just that he won't have any... Well, he probably won't have any left over for the Nerd in case of Disable. And yeah, I guess he can go all Poison Sting on this fight, but it's not ideal. Probably wants to use at least 1 of his free Horn here, and then perhaps the Leer Tackle on Voltorb like Sincer is saying. He does go for Poison Sting turn 1, gets the critical. Poison Stings again. Okay, that's a kill. We'll see if he uses Horn attack at all on the Metapod. Does not, so yeah, he's playing to have all 4 of his Horn attacks for Mount Moon.
Yeah, and even then, Horn attack, Poison Sting, Horn attack is not the greatest range on this Metapod.
He's still gonna 4-shot it, but... You really want to be playing for the free shot, I suppose, when you're level 14. Anyway, it's not a huge time loss over what Osu's doing. So Osu, with what appears to be a slight lead, but not actually because he didn't fight the last. We've got level 8 Sparrows.
Yep. So he gets one ball as well. Problems gets a decent roll. Flyers are pretty much the same for both players here.
The problem will be setting up for the non-red bar Paris slightly outside Mount Moon. Those two will be entering Mount Moon and YOLOing his way to the nerd, and then to the last. Does do the turn frame at the side of Mount Moon, good stuff. And almost gets there. Probably should be only one encounter before the nerd. Still has a small chance of the second one. Doesn't go for a level 6 Zubat.
I do not blame him.
Experience.
A level 6 Zubat does very little for you. I would normally start with a 7, I think.
Yeah.
That's
It's about the only one you can reliably kill at 14. Oh, maybe a level 7 as well, but it's just such a small amount of experience.
6 doesn't even give you 20 for the Rattata, which is a pretty big deal.
Clean pre-nerd Paris for problem. Osu onto the Voltor, but problem will be killing this fight a little faster.
Osu gets a good first roll on the Voltorb, but the Screech still does not really kill. That 2-shot on Voltorb is pretty difficult without turn 1 Screech.
Problem, I think, with a slightly questionable roll on his first one attack on the Magnemite, but still just barely does enough to 100% Poison Sting. You can get to a point where Poison Sting isn't guaranteed to kill, or at least isn't likely to kill.
Osu, I think, only gets one encounter, which is really good for him.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he wants here.
Problem indeed spending his last one attack on his Voltorb, so none for the nerd, so pray for no bad disable. Provided he keeps fresh and not tackle. I mean, provided he keeps tackle this time. It should be okay now.
A terrible first roll on that Oddish. This is how 3 shots start, and he does barely miss it. Very favorable.
We see problems resetting to start his Mega Punch Manip. Mostly with the standard less after the range miss doesn't crit the Bellsprout. And it's still not going to be that far apart, but Osu still has to watch his evolution and then do his save and reset, so really problem still with perhaps a half a minute to a minute lead at this point.
It's still fairly close here. The problems will gain a lot of that time back on bridge, presuming he doesn't miss.
Yeah, Mega Punch does save us a fair few turns on average, but with between misses and just RNG in general, it's not a certain thing that he'll have a better bridge, just likely.
Far from guaranteed. Osu also gets an encounter before he starts his Manip.
You should see Osu doing this with no problems, you'd think. And it's also a higher success rate than Problem, although I think Problem has got past most of the major in-game time zeros at this point.
Yeah, I think he's passed most of them. He passed my 1 in 3600 Geodude that I found.
And as I was saying, Osu wouldn't stuff it up, he drops the first day press. With the old +6 Zubat on the tile above the ladder. I mean, it is possible to get an in-game time of 3600, which produces that same Zubat, to troll you into thinking you stuffed up the minute, but it's just really rare, so most likely he just dropped the A press. Unfortunate, but it happens. If we see the same Zubat again, then I'd start to be worried about it being the 3600. We don't, so yeah, he dropped the A press.
Problems with a clean Mega Punch Manip here.
Osu passed any real danger on his own minute though. The first floor is the only hard floor on Palette minute. Besides the Paris YOLO ball, but that's just standard to all the moon minutes at some point. And does not get frame 38'd, so Paris on this tile means he has the small chance of getting an encounter before the rocket. This time Problems teach Mega Punch over Leer, but Mega Punch is now in slot free. Osu, I think, realised that either he's playing for minimal risk, or he realised that he didn't get the text clear in time, so he went straight for Horn Attack there.
He may have felt like he missed it.
Yeah. Either way, he gets somewhat lucky. Well, it is over 50% to catch Paris after a Horn Attack, but it's far from a set sure thing. He gets lucky in a way to get it in the first ball. And we see some quality non-60 FPS stream going on there where you kind of see his Nidoking evolution looking a bit weird, although it might just be on the commentary stream. It was kind of funny though.
This is about a trainer behind now. Plus whatever time Problems potentially can save or lose on bridge.
No disable, and doesn't miss the Mega Punch to allow another chance at disable, so this should be fine. There's no reason why he should die here other than silliness with Screech. Does miss the Voltorb once, but it's not Screeched. Misses the range, though it's a really bad range, and does get Screech now, so he takes 8 from Screech Tackle, so if he does miss another Mega Punch he can die. But it's... it might only be 6 actually. We'll see here. Yeah, it's only 6, my bad. So yeah, he wasn't even in anywhere near... He had no problems with dying, yeah. So, I think he swapped up Mega Punch to slot 1 in one of those 2 fights, while I wasn't looking.
I would think he switched Horn Attack to the top and then switched it back. It seems
yeah, I think that's what he did. Normally when you're committing to Mega Punch route, you just don't swap Horn Attack in the first place, but it's, I suppose, odd muscle memory. No disable problems for Osu either. But problems with perhaps a 1-minute lead coming out of Mount Moon. Looking like Osu might well fail the 2-shot on coughing as well, just to lose a little more time. Yeah, that's Poison Sting range, but it is 2 damage off actually killing. So we see we're still going to see a respectable 28 Mount Moon out of Osu without an insane run of encounters after the Helix Fossil, but problems with a minute better roughly. It's not really even down to Mega Punch minute this time, they both got a similar amount of encounters in Mount Moon.
Another encounter here.
It's really just the lead that Problem had before, or after Brock, finally like re-manifesting itself after their strat divergence. He does also have Mega Punch now, which will probably save him more time, but that part hasn't happened yet, and it might not happen depending on sand attacks and other things like that. Hits the first one, gets a good roll, but gets sand.
He gets sanded immediately here. He gets his Horn Attack though.
Double sand, he'll switch, yeah. You never don't switch in that situation in a race, although this is a level 8 Spearow, but because it's a Spearow and not a Pidgey, it still dies. Level 8 Pidgeys, I think, can easily survive in that situation, but level 8, or Spearows in general, are a little less bulky.
You're gonna pretty much waste the maximum amount of time there. Minus hand attack troll on the slave.
0 damage Pidgeotto is not necessarily ideal either, but the crit quick attack is a bit... The crit quick attack on the last turn is a bit stupid.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna be too helpful unless he misses some Mega Punches.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I guess a lot of the Pokemon that you Mega Punch to one hit are the ones that will do damage to you if you're running Horn Attack strats, so he might not really get anywhere close to Red Bar anyway. Like the Pidgeys and the Rattata.
Looks like he led Horn Attack on Bulbasaur there.
Yeah, if you get a good enough roll you can just double Horn Attack, but he got a really bad roll so he had to Mega Punch.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but Mega Punch critical can kill, and you can also kill with 2 Mega Punches through a growl.
Yeah,
so,
that's reasonable as well.
That's what I see most of the time there. I will fight. Barring any Bulbasaur troll, that critical will, I think, make it so this dies now. That critical is useful. Saves him a turn through the ground.
No real problems on the rival, but now we come to the Pidgeys, which are the actual likely deviants in sand between the two routes. Since Mega Punch is a very favourable range to one-hit the two Pidgeys, and Horn Attack never will without a critical. As expected, problems through the first Pidgey with absolutely no issues.
Yeah, there's only a 1 in 13 chance that Pidgey doesn't die to Mega Punch, minus the miss chance.
Osu misses the range on the... Well, no, what am I saying? It's not a range. Doesn't get the critical on the Caterpie.
Yes. Problems goes for Horn Attack on that rat. Does not get rewarded there. Mega Punch is more likely to kill there than Horn Attack.
Only takes a scratch of damage for his sacrifice though. Sand out of the Pidgey. Better to play to just keep going with one sand on one of these Pidgey Nidoran fights, because it's usually not going to be a huge time loss.
Yeah, it's really hard for these Nidorans with those Pidgeys to kill your slaves off.
Not any concern anyway. Hits all 3 of his 75% accurate moves. Or no, 66% accurate moves rather, through the sand.
Problems gets the range on the second Pidgey. A little worse than the first one.
And no growl on Nidoran. Means he doesn't have to switch to Mega Punch for the second hit. Both failing the range on the rat, though Osu obviously was the one who had to take the risk.
Yeah, Problems just inherently added 20% more, or 20% more of a chance to not kill the rat in one hit.
I guess we can say
Bad
punished,
decision.
but it wasn't really punished in terms of damage or anything like that.
Oh no, he just got a Hyper Fang, which he's fine with.
Crit Mega Punch on Mankey means that pretty much no chance of Red Bar on Route 25, but not something you always want to have a chance for in a race anyway, depending on how the Hiker fight goes.
I think with that health, I would have played around a little more. I may have went for Horn Attack on the Mankey, just because you do have the option to Mega Punch Machop if you get any damage.
He can get Red Bar by hitting himself on Geodude perhaps, but otherwise he's not going to get it.
It's by no means guaranteed to get red bar from 28. It's pretty high, and it can be a very ambitious decision to go for red bar from there.
Osu, meanwhile, is entering at 18, which prompts a Craigasm from Sinstar into chat. I suppose that's much better than red bar health. Got criticals anyway, so no red bar for him either.
That's one of those situations where you're better off leering and then going for one attack for red bar, but during a race, it's not really necessary to go for something like that. In an attempt, you definitely do, because you definitely want to try to get red bar from that main key from that health.
Yeah, but given how safe Osu played in his first race, it's not all that surprising. He might be willing to take slightly more risks against Problems because of Problem's superior standing in terms of time, but hasn't worked out that way so far. Problems does go for a hit self and does hit himself. He's gonna swap now, but he'll get pretty decent red bar for the rest of Route 25. He'll certainly stay in red bar at the next level up, and he's not dead to the 2 quick attacks, so pretty good. Apart from having to switch out and lose the time from doing that switch out.
So when bridge is all done, Mega Punch is supposed to save a little bit of time there, but still only looks like it's about a top hiker difference in terms of time. It's not too bad. It's not too bad for Osu, apparently.
Osu could get through without having to switch out, and maybe still be in red bar if the Geodude is kind enough. But it would take a critical. Defense kill comes straight away, which means...
He just wants a critical right here. He doesn't get it.
Yeah, that's just a fair enough switch out. You're not even going to kill him one more fresh, and hitting yourself once is kind of dangerous. It will not kill you even if you use his tackle, but then you'll actually be in danger of quick attack health.
Yeah, this will pretty much guarantee just a 1 potion Misty as well, and that saves a little bit of time. I like that play a lot more than YOLOing. It's very possible he wouldn't even kill it in 2 Thrashes from where he was.
Problem with 16 out of 81, so yeah, keeps his red bar. Did not get quick attack from the rat, but I don't think it matters a ton at this point. He'll probably go for 2 potions regardless. You can risk 39 on Misty if you really want to, but not smart in a race.
Definitely not. It's pretty much worth just sticking with your double potion and just trying to get through the fight.
No quick attack there either. Ideal situation, since it wouldn't help him with red bar at all. Or with healing at all. You'll see pretty much the same route from these guys from now on. They'll both be doing Lady Q, Blizzard, standard stuff. But Mega Punch might still play in a little more, since there's the matter of the 4-turn fresh skill. Though I watched a rather unfortunate death to 4-turn fresh skill last night, where Hassel was doing attempts and got Mega Punch missed into Stun Spore, into Full Restore, into another Mega Punch miss, into another Stun Spore. So that is the danger of Mega Punching Oddish. It's just less likely to be any kind of bad troll and actually going for the 4-turn fresh.
Those who does not get quick attack, which is pretty much what he wants to see here. He has a very nice amount of health.
Yeah, for him, he wanted to avoid taking damage to preserve his 1 potion situation. 1 quick attack or peck would be fine, but
now he's fine as long as peck doesn't critical. It's pretty unlikely.
You see problems on 56 as predicted, and we'll see. Okay, he gets a pick from Goldine, but that's no big deal. 51 is still pretty much equivalent to 56.
Goldine, it's really nice. Oh no, he crit second turn.
Perhaps even slightly preferable to have 51 over 56, but it's hard to say without seeing what happens in Misty first.
For sure. 56 is a little high, but depending on how aggressively he wants to play for red bar in the upcoming splits, is the difference between 56 and 51 might not matter.
Osu is going for 46, so he's not going for overly safe strats at least. Yeah, the pick here will be a bit dicey for him, but he'll still have 44 for Stubby, so that's enough.
And 44 only adds a high roll water gun crit roll. Which is so unlikely that hardly ruins your percent to win.
Minimum roll bubble beam for problems means that his red bar is a little dicey. He'll lose it at the next level up. Yeah, he will.
Yeah, he gets a +4 there. He'll immediately lose it.
19 out of 85 is a couple of points above red bar.
I think, do you need 17? It might be 18, but I can't remember what the magic health is.
Yeah, around there it starts becoming an extra point above like 1 in 5, but not entirely sure if you can get it with 18. Either way, it's irrelevant because unless he Gen 1 misses, he is going to be at 19 out of 88. No, oh yeah, 18 out of 88 would be fine actually. For some reason I was thinking in terms of 85 max health.
Problem was a brief bonking spell there on the side of that house, but it's pretty common to see that.
You're saying that's just an emulator control problem? Oh, duh, the speed fall, so Osu is dead.
That's very unlucky for Osu, that's out of his control. He definitely can't be frustrated at that.
Well, he can be frustrated, but he can't be frustrated at himself.
Yeah, he can't be frustrated at himself. The time gap grows a little larger, but it's not his fault at all.
He actually takes the time to set his palette again. Not that it's any time lost to set a palette.
I think he's sticking with the blue palette.
He went for hard reset instead of soft reset. Because it can be awkward to soft reset on emulator if you don't have good key bindings, or if you're playing on keyboard then it is almost always awkward to soft reset. X offend on the second try. This is okay, well, bad, because he's got way more health than he wants, but safe, in a way. Damageless Misty is awkward, but if Problems has, well, problems with his red bar, then this could, in fact, let him back in the race.
Yeah, Problems is his own awkward health problem right now. But if he gets enough quick attacks here, it'll help him make a decision. Probably wants a couple more. I would assume he wants the potion for Ann Rival. But 34 is pretty high. It's not terrible, but...
We can honestly just see Osu not have to heal at all until the heal pad, which would, well, lose time from no red bar, but if Problems does die to being in red bar at some point, then it would probably be an overall time save.
That quick attack from Rad is actually probably helpful. The potion of 23, it'll make him pretty much have to play for red bar, but he does have really good health for it.
23 on Anripe can be dicey depending on what happens on the first couple of turns, but he does have Mega Punch, so he's in a much better spot than he would be with Horn Attack in this kind of situation. Alex to delete Horn Attack for Bubble Beam. I assume that's standard Mega Punch move order strats. Remembers that he does need to sell. This sell menu is quite something. He does remember that he needs to sell TM34, but trips up a bit trying to sell the nugget.
It's there. Doesn't forget anything.
Problems has about a 2-minute lead right now, which could turn into more with low health, red bar, jingle skip strats on the next couple of segments, but no guarantees that they don't kill him instead of saving him time.
Yeah, this is always a dicey health, and it can go either way. It's a very fine line on the split on what's good health and what's bad health, and you can often just die to something random happening.
Osu with health where he's probably not going to have to heal at all, but he will listen to all those annoying jingles and cries.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he got any quick attacks. He's still at 47.
Okay, we need to observe the first couple of turns of this rival though. Bubble Bean turn 1, Sand. His flyer is dead, so he has to probably wait 2 turns for the Paris to die, although it might die in 1. Because it's only level 8.
The level 8 Paris might bail him out here.
1
Oh, he's on the 1.
Well, that scratch will guarantee the 2 times Bubble Beam range if it wasn't already guaranteed. I think it is though.
Pretty sure it's a guaranteed to hit KO.
Well,
It dies now.
sloppy,
Well,
but
Paris finally dies.
time loss, but not overly bad. Still maintaining the lead. Mega Punch on Eradicate. Misses the kill. Misses the
range.
Hyper Fang.
So he's still in this really weird position. Here he wants to definitely get no damage from Ivysaur.
Yeah.
Environment does make it a little dicey. He gives him bad red bar and he can die to Sonic Boom, so he'd rather probably just want to try to play for Sonic Boom.
Well, damageless, so it's okay for now. Slow, but ultimately kind of safe, so SSN rival fight. Definitely on the slow side.
Yeah, not entirely his fault having to sack his fly earlier.
He's ahead by about the length of the boat rival fight now, but it looks like it's panning out to be faster for Osu. Though, double quick attack, he's getting quite a bit closer to Problems in terms of health now. Problems with, what was it, 26 or 27 leaving the fight, and Osu with 26 already, or 27 already. Critical on the rate. Yeah.
Not really what he wants to see, but it's not awful.
He can take a Vine Whip, but it'll be dicey then because of Sonic Boom quick attack killing. And without Sonic Boom he would be in even no red bar or really, really bad red bar. So he probably also wants Damageless Ivysaur and gets it.
Yeah, so he really wants... Well, both runners want Sonic Boom. Osu definitely wants it just because he's behind. Problems, I think, is probably pretty neutral. Going through Flight Split on 3 HP can be scary. It's one of those healths where one Mega Punch miss could kill you, and...
Well, there's only one more Mega Punch left to hit, but yes, it could still kill you. Problems just needs to believe he isn't Hassel in this case. Although I'm sure there have been other people that have died to Mega Punch miss on the audition to Sunspore, but...
Yeah, my first Mega Punch run with the new Manip died to Mega Punch miss in the stuns for it, so... It's happened to a few people.
Can Snippers a go? We won't know if it worked or not until now, but it does, as expected.
Let's see what he goes for here. He has a health where he wants Sonic Boom, but the problem is since he doesn't have XP, he can't die to Quick Attack if he gets Sonic Boom. So it'll be interesting to see what he wants to play for.
How much was his health? It was...
He was
yeah,
26.
26.
I thought
Yeah,
it
it
was
won't
23.
die.
Right about the level up.
Misses the buffer on Bubble Beam, trying to buffer to Bubble Beam, but hits down slightly too early. No damage Voltorb, just decides to take it instead of trying to use Leer. He does still have... oh no, he had Tackle, my bad. But he could have tackled once if he wanted to. 19 out of 91. Well, that's going to lose red bar on this level up right now, so even if it was red bar, it's irrelevant.
Could get a lot of
absolutely
damage
no
here
time.
if he hits himself. He did take a Screech from the Voltorb. So
Yeah, he would just outright kill himself with the hit stuff, but he didn't thrash anyway. I mean, he was on a free turn thrash anyway, so irrelevant. So
honestly don't
hitting
know the
himself
range
on Bellsprout might be ideal. We might, yeah. If he can hit himself on Bellsprout, that might be ideal, but he's on Mega Punch, so I suppose he can't. So I'm not sure what he wants to do from here. Venonat isn't enough. I mean, he could go for the 4-turn, and if he gets the 4-turn, then he still saves time. But I'm not sure if he'll know to make that kind of play. Or if it would even be a good play.
With his lead, I don't think it's a good play currently. I think he should just play a little safer. He could go for Slowpoke Red Bar. His health is high enough to...
yeah.
Just barely, but...
We do see Sonic Boom on Osu's screen, so...
that's exactly what he wants. His health is beautiful now.
Quick Attack makes it a little more dicey, but not the end of the world either. You can still survive a couple of Rock Tunnel Quick Attacks.
Yep, and he can also survive a couple of Absorbs. He also gets the 4-turn on Surge. Well, he Bubble Beam Draft Voltorb, so he's fine.
Yeah. So neither of them needed the 4-turn. Unfortunately, he did get the X speed, which loses the half-turn. Swaps up... oh, he swapped up 1024. I was gonna say, yeah.
I think I remember on that once.
Slight time loss.
Definitely happens.
He has a good moveset now.
Osu definitely wanted this to happen. Osu can make up a bit of his bar, assuming he gets lucky and doesn't die.
He just needs that 4-turn fresh. After that, well, there's the Oddish, but Oddish applies to both of them, whereas Problems has an easier time on 4-turn fresh.
Yeah, 4-turn Thrash is super important for Osu.
Yeah,
I would expect to see Problems just Mega Punch anyway here. I would probably just Mega Punch anyway.
yeah, he does go for Mega Punch, so safety wins for the time being. We'll see if he goes for Slowpoke or if he just... okay, I guess that must have been a misclick, misbuffer again. Because he goes for another Mega Punch. That one ain't going to help you, buddy. Yeah, considering his roots in really good glitch times, I wouldn't be surprised if he's going for every buffer. And those missed inputs are just him missing buffers.
Yeah, his really good glitch time is also why you see in most of his races when he does the intro against other people, he saves a lot of time in the beginning.
Yeah, he certainly saves about a second over Osu, who I think outdid at least Anak in their last race. I don't know how good Osu is compared to other runners.
I think he beat me by about a second on the intro, so...
That was back when he didn't even have a good PP. But yeah, I suppose the intro is the same no matter what.
Yeah, when he does NSC intro, I mean, he's grinded that out, so... it's probably a lot better at that than I am. Let's see what Osu has in his, see what 4-turn Girl has in store.
Problems is through Venonat, as he doesn't go for anything on the bug catcher. Wouldn't have helped him. Not enough damage regardless.
He does not want to get trolled.
We'll see if Problems elects for something, and Osu is not trolled, so yeah, definitely Problems lead is a little under threat. And
Problems will He probably won't see this in time, but I would definitely, if I had saw that Osu got through 4-turn girl with no issues, I would probably be more inclined to go for Slowpoke Red Bar here.
Doesn't risk Cubone. I mean, Cubone would have maybe put him down to 1, which obviously not good for Absorb. He does go for Slowpoke. I'm guessing that wasn't another drop.
Let's go for the Slowpoke here.
Yeah.
He gets the max roll, which is not exactly what he wanted. He probably wanted no extra health there.
Well, is 17 the max roll?
Well, it's 15 to 17. It might be 18. I don't know if he has 139. He must have.
Yeah. I think it must be 15 to 18, but in any case, it's okay. It's not a big deal if he doesn't get Absorb. Although, yeah, I think it's
still
okay
okay
if he doesn't get
situations
Absorb.
where any quick attack will cause problems for Rival.
Yeah, for Rival he probably has to push if he gets any quick attack, but in terms of tanking 2 quick attacks, I think he's okay provided he doesn't get Absorb. Saves before Oddish, with the lead and with such low red bar, there is not really any reason not to.
He's in that red bar scenario where if he gets powdered, he's dead in 2 turns, so he has a very low chance of getting out of it alive.
Well,
he is pretty unlikely to get trolled. But...
gets the fresh anyway, or gets the range anyway, so no catch up for Osu there. Osu will stay behind by about 2 fights because Problems now has red bar of his own.
Yep, Osu's health is just slightly better, so he will have an advantage going into tower, assuming no crazy amount of quick attack damage. Problem's doing very safe movement through Rock Tunnel, doing a bunch of bombs there. A lot of people do that when they're not too experienced with tunnel movement.
Yeah, that's just him not doing Glichless very much. Yep, Osu will get a bit of an advantage there because he does yellow where it's fairly similar rock tunnel movement, probably just slightly different lag. Well, the same rock tunnel movement, the only difference is the lag. Oddish actually does absorb, and that exactly sinks their healths. They both have 11 now.
They both have decently sketchy health, while both of them just want to see no quick attacks.
Yeah, 14, and you can go into Rival. Osu forgets to use his Repel, or elects to use it, or wanted to use it slightly later and bonked too many times to have that work. So it gets the Repel wear off text box of shame.
Yeah, I think he may have just forgotten. Repels are very similar, and yellow are pretty much the same, so...
Okay, Problems will have to heal before Rival now, unless he's willing to YOLO 9 HP. You can.
You can! Scary, for sure.
You can YOLO it and then heal on Growlithe if you want to, but if you get burned, then lol, rip.
I didn't know if Ivysaur had a 12 roll with his Vine Whip.
He
I know
does.
it could hit 11.
Yeah, it's 10 to 12.
So he would have a 36% chance to die to, I think, Quick Attack.
Yeah.
Vine Whip roll as well. 9 health is pretty scary.
No Vulpix quick attack, so yeah. 9, it does open the option of going in with 9. We'll see if he takes it or heals. He might heal turn 1 on Pidgeotto, although that's sketchy when you're not X accuracy because it still has sand attack.
So, yeah, leading, especially when you're doing late EQ strats nowadays, it's pretty risky to lead Potion on that fight. He only has Squirtle left as well, which with a 50-50 chance to damage Squirtle, it could be a long road to having Squirtle dead.
Sketchy elixir pickup from Problems, but probably only lost a couple seconds overall. Osu did not get quick attack from Pidgey, we'll see if he gets it on Vulpix.
Vulpix would actually only put him at 10, assuming he doesn't critical, so be too bad still.
No quick attack there, so yeah, Osu with better health for sure. Though it could end up leading to him playing a bit more risky as well. If he
Yeah,
gets
Osu would still have to heal if he gets quick attack from Pidgeotto, but
yeah, even if it's a 4 level up, he would still only be on like 10 for Ivysaur at most, and you can't do that.
You're very likely to die from there.
We have a little argument in the chat about how people should be talking about damage ranges. That's fun.
Are they talking about high rolls versus 1 in 39 rolls?
Yeah. And whether you should include crits and kill chance. I mean, personally, I'd like to know what the 1 in 39s are, but I can see the argument.
The crits and kill chances. I know when I refer to high roll, I refer to every roll that's not 1 in 39. I kind of refer to 1 in 39 as its own roll.
Yeah, but including crit and kill chance, I think, is pretty clear cut that you should. Problems. Yeah, he sold Bide, but he didn't get a 12 exec, so he ends up with 1,000 spare at the end. Not a big deal. You don't really need a 12 exec in any race situation where you're going to fresh Yarbok.
Yeah, the only time the 12 exec would matter is, you know, you could throw it away on Weezing. But even in a race situation, I'd probably just pick up the 4th super.
He doesn't... Yeah, he didn't pick up the 4th super, that would have probably been a better play, but... I mean, even in a race you can sometimes have a spare exec for Weezing, even if you buy 11.
For sure.
We got problems still with about a 1.5 minute lead, possibly. Well, no, maybe not even that much anymore. But he is on the fly menu while Osu is still finishing up shopping. Osu with a more standard amount of money left over. 176, fairly familiar number if you've run this category.
Osu will also have a chance to gain some time back here, assuming he can dodge the Pidgeotto quick attack.
We'll see, yeah. Problems.
The problem's potion.
Yeah.
Oh, he's potioning late.
Yeah.
Doing the extra menu here.
Always awkward to have to potion without an exec. I mean, you can exec onto a rival, it's just awkward. And the only... And it would burn your spare exec.
Oh, Osu's starting his menu here.
Yeah. Possibly only around a 1 minute lead now, actually. You can see what time they get out of Tower Rival. No quick attack. But even 12 would have been a little sketchy for problems. Since you die to either a crit or a 1 in 39 at that point. Or is it going to be on 33? Either way.
Should be a +3. Barring something crazy.
Oh yeah, it is 33.
I thought it was a +3 here.
Yeah. But either way, this is still not great health, because even if he takes a mineral Vine Whip, he's still dead to quick attack. Osu actually elects to potion as well, interestingly. So he gets his own awkward menu.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. He's just playing safe, it's fine. I guess he feels like he's still within reach, that he doesn't need to go for it.
So, Problems is not dead to a single Nightshade, since he got damageless Ivysaur. Osu dodges quick attack as well, which might make him regret that decision to heal a little bit, although he can now have his own safety on on Ghastly. In this case, even if he does get Vine Whipped, if it's a 10, then he would still be alive after a Nightshade. So that 1 extra health. Oh no, what am I saying? He's actually got 5 extra health, so yeah. Any Vine Whip roll and he still survives. Nightshade, even crit, I think would still kind of make it close.
They both have enough health to tank a Nightshade. This should prompt them to not have to save for that fight. Or at least I probably would not save for that fight with the ability to tank one.
Yeah, it's sketchy to save even if you can't take one, just because of it can make some things awkward. You have to use an extra repel and then figure out where to save one later, though there are a few good places, of course. So, Problems made it through without missing a rock slide anyway. We'll see if Osu's able to do the same. With 38 health, you're not in any danger, unless multiple misses, or leg paralysis, or confuse ray. Okay, so maybe there are a few ways that he can be in danger, but that all has to start with a rock slide miss anyway.
Because if something does happen and you see that you're in a chance that you could die, at least you have a chance to react instead of dying immediately, which is what being below 23 is so scary. Sometimes you don't get a chance to heal or full restore.
We have no daily storms yet anyway. That's 5 out of 5 rock slides between the two streams at this point. They should only be going for 8 total. Problems gets 100%.
They're 6 for 6 on the rock slide so far. It's actually unfavored for that to happen.
Well, yeah. I guess overall it's slightly unlikely that they hit every single rock slide between the two of them, but it's not all that crazy for it to happen.
Oh no.
Horn drill teach for problems, just standard. For this route, when you don't want horn drill for rival, you do want horn drill for rival on certain health, but that's for attempts rather than races. And that's assuming that you're gearing up to drill the Arbok, so you don't need fresh anymore. Though not having fresh does also lose a little bit of time and make a range worse on the last rocket here as well. Final rock slide, well, we get 8 for 8? Yeah, 8 for 8, okay. That's nice.
Well, they all hit all of them, so that's nice. 8 for 8. Nice to see this split that has quite a bit of variance go pretty evenly for both players.
Yeah, they both, well, Problems was correct to heal, although he did it at an awkward time. Osu may not have been, but ultimately just pans out the same. There's no real super good place to heal before Tower Rifle anyway, but having to scroll all the way up from Fly is not necessarily ideal. We'll see what Problems does on this last fight if he hits Eradicate range. Osu actually did double Thunderbolt on this fight yesterday, playing it perhaps overly safe, but...
It leaves us very little time to do that though. I think even I did it in my races.
It's a play that I guess runners disagree on, but you'll see most runners just go for Thunderbolt fresh. Since it's only about 2% chance to hit yourself. Or 3% rather. Well actually no, it's like 1.5%, because you have to miss the range, you have to 4-turn, and then you have to hit yourself. 3-turn rather, not 4-turn. Problems took a little bit of damage from that fight, but it's not anything that will matter at all because of the immediate center now. It's a shame you can't carry over damage from this fight to the Sylph split though. It would be kinda nice in those races where you just get damageless Pidgeot and just scrambling to take damage.
I do think that there will be some kind of strategy that involves skipping that center around at some point. I do think that if there's a way to carry that health over, you do add some risk on Pidgeot, but you do 1/6 chance to die outright to the Gyarados every time.
And yeah, carrying over a heel pad skip red bar is obviously the dream, but it's just so likely to die. But it would be nice if you could be, say, 30 health down going into Pidgeot without having to get really good luck on Arbok.
There are probably some magic healths that do allow you to do that, but it's probably not... It's hardly guaranteeable, I'd imagine, even if it was routed.
And we see Osu with a more standard Pokemon Tower top floor where you take only 1 damage, or well, chip damage. He ended up getting Smog, so he took exactly 1. But Problems taking that 30 or whatever was actually pretty non-standard. Grabbing the 5th and final elixir out of the tree, since this round is a little more hungry on Horn Drill PP in general, and also Blizzard with only 5 PP. You need all the PP items you can get your hands on. We see Thrash on Arbok, critical, which does guarantee the 2-hit, but then the Leer, which makes it really close to a 2-hit even if you don't critical. So, damageless Arbok, not ideal, but better than Glare. And it only has a 25% chance to use the move you want to see anyway, which is Bite. And to be fair, you probably actually don't want to see that if you're doing self-bar.
Sorry about that, I had to slip out.
Yeah, we didn't see Glare hit for Problems. He just got Leer.
Alright, that's good for him. Let's hope that
yesterday there was the double Glare hit. Osu going into the fight now, so please be nice. Bad range. Probably another turn coming up. But an extremely good second roll gets in the 2-shot without Leer or a critical. That must have been like pretty much a max roll on the second hit. Lucky him. Takes a slightly odd path, going back and forth to his teleporter. But again, probably just slight controller issue. Yeah, they're both cleanly through. And they've both taken, well, Problems has taken literally 0 damage, and he's passed Pidgeot as well, so his situation is a little sketchy. Osu still has to go through Pidgeot, so he might still end up on good health. But Problems is definitely in the market for elixiring on either Cubone or Drowsy on the next fight instead of doing it before the battle. We'll see if Osu takes any good damage on Pidgeot. Not on the first turn, but can still get second turn damage and can still get the quick attack. No second turn damage, and no quick attack. Okay, so they're pretty much on even footing here, apart from Osu having lost a grand glorious total of 1 HP. They both need to take quite a bit more damage in order to be able to guarantee die to the self-destruct. Problems going for the elixir on this fight. Uses on the Cubone, which is kind of a Well, I don't know if the rockets have the good AI or not, they possibly don't, so I guess it's as good a chance as any, but takes double growl anyway, so still on full health. Really needs something to go his way now. Might see Ixac on the Drowsy and Koga's gym. We might just see stalling on Hypno.
Could also
Either
just
way.
go for the Exact on the Rocket Drowsy as well. It's a couple options, yeah.
Well, he's past that.
Oh, I thought you were looking at Osu. My bad.
Yeah, Osu has his Osu will probably go for the Ixac on the Rocket Drowsy.
I tend to just take every option possible. I Elixir on Cubone, I Exact on the Drowsy, and then I'll Exact on the next Drowsy if nothing works out.
Yeah. Osu does use the Elixir early, so you'd imagine he'll just go for straight Bubble Beam on the Cubone and then Ixac on the Drowsy. Like, he has to realise that he has way too much health. Problem gets helped out a little bit by that one attack.
Not too helpful.
It does mean that crit headbutt can help, and it does mean that confusion will actually knock him into the range he needs.
For sure.
It's possible to take a confusion from absolutely full health and still not being guaranteed self-destruct kill.
Osu gets one confusion from the Drowsy here. We'll need a little bit of help still though. I headbutt or a horn attack will die.
Just about, yeah. Like, both would be ideal. But one will make it pretty safe. Especially if it criticals. But yeah, he would like both horn attack and headbutt, I'd imagine.
Osu does not get help from that arena there.
Yeah. So headbutt it is. Crit headbutt ideal. Normal headbutt still probably okay, but a little more sketchy. And Sinstar makes a good point that you don't have to die to red bar. I mean, you don't have to die to boom for it to be health that works. Like, even if he doesn't get headbutt and he survives boon on about 5, then it's still good until at least hopefully getting hit by black belt. Problem holding on to pretty much the same lead for quite a while now, ever since the start of Pokemon Tower anyway. Osu
Yeah, it's about the same at this point.
getting pretty much the same fights other than the Ixac on Drowsy instead of Ixac on Cubone.
Osu's situation for health is a little better, but it's not too hard for problems to get. Barring any catastrophe on Hypno. Nothing much to say about these menus. a brief break before they get to Koga.
We'll still be
skipping the forest door there. Not playing too safe, I guess.
It's unlikely that he needs it at this point, but still possible, depending on Elite Four. Well, yeah, normally you never want it in the Elite Four unless you want it to use against the Sky Attack charge.
Yeah, he's pretty safe. It's just one of those pretty cheap insurances that you can get. In terms of time loss. Osu going for the bush cutting here.
You can have a look at the Koga split. I think it's still about a minute and a half gap, but we can have a look at Koga split to see how big of a mountain Osu still has to climb. Could get helped out by having problems on getting red bar. Failing to get red bar off Koga can be a massive time loss because everything after him is super unreliable on damaging you. Oh! Okay!
Oh, Problems just loaded a save state. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That
That's
erases his save file as well.
No.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
That's
Believe that.
a forfeit, I think. He's
definitely not what you want to see happen. That is just that's a terrible way to go.
I don't know what could have happened.
That's generally why I set my save states to require 2 keys.
You
don't
can
know if it's
also
possible that
turn
he
off
can-
save state loaded entirely if you want. That's
Terrible way.
It's a shame
for
that it
to
happened.
race in. That's awful.
Osu playing it out now. We don't know what could have happened, but in this
sure.
situation it seems very unlikely that there'll be a rematch.
May want to come in.
I don't know exactly what happened, like what button he pressed to make the save state load, because there shouldn't. You can press something like Control L, and that always loads a save state, I think, but
Yeah, it'll be
should
interesting
never
to hear what he says about it.
yeah, like if you press Control L, then you always load a save state. That's about the only way that you can't remove. I'm not sure what could have happened. It's really unfortunate regardless, like it's something that he might be able to fix for later races, but it sucks to see it happen, especially in a race that's this
Probably could matter a lot for him
close, yeah.
if Osu gets a decent time in one of his last 3 races. I don't know what Problems' his best time was. I missed his race with Inat.
It's a 156, so it's beatable by Osu for sure, but it's from this run it would be quite difficult. But he gets another chance against Paper Guy.
Against Paper Guy. Feels so weird when you say that.
Yeah, Paper Guy just got a huge boost. Because he can win the group now on his own hands. Unfortunate for Problems.
Problems is still in pretty good shape. Even Osu's PB is, about a 158, I think, currently.
That Bumblebee is a little sketchy. This isn't a guaranteed range. He does kill the...
Yeah, he might not know that. Might be something I need to tell him before he starts his next match.
Yeah, it's nice to Bumblebee in the wheezing, just not the... Hypno.
Osu's played a lot of yellow, but I don't think he knows everything that you can do in red yet. So I think some of those things like bubble beaming Hypno might just be something that he's just not aware of.
Yeah.
We'll see a lot
It's like
of
it
those things.
probably still advances to the bracket, but he's now dependent on other people, which has to suck. Like, huge commiserations to him for that happening.
It's very unlikely that he gets knocked out, but I would hate for it not to be in my hands. Osu gets through with a 125 Koga, which is it's respectable. He could definitely still 156 here with a good early game or good late game if he wants to go for that.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward that he's now playing to beat Problem's time.
Yeah, so
that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, he should definitely play aggressively from here on out. I think in his position, he has a decent mid-game time here at the end of Koga, and it'd probably benefit him to go for a good time while he can't lose, because he does need to win. He does need to win both. He needs to win 2 games, most likely, and he also needs to get a good time. Yeah, he just needs a good time at this point. So at this point, if he wants to play as aggressively as possible, he could go for that, and then see if he can get a good time, and at that point he would just try to beat me to seal himself going through the group.
Well, yeah, if he beats you, then everything here is irrelevant. Well, I mean, he would win the group if he beats you now.
Yeah, and then
so that would be nice for him.
Yeah, he would win the group outright, and then Problems would go through a second. I think he's incentivized to not necessarily YOLO this run, but he might want to take some risks that he wouldn't be willing to take in another run.
Yeah, it really depends if he's watching. I haven't seen him in chat that much during the run, if at all.
He might not be. He has played really safe, and he does talking about how he thinks it's better to not look. Definitely makes some people less nervous.
Yeah, in this place it would be a good play to look, but most of the time it can be. It can make you play worse if you react to like small leads too much. But for this really awkward and unfortunate situation, he would have been better off looking.
We'll see how he does here.
He's definitely still on for a 156, 157, but that will require at least a somewhat clean run from here on out.
He does need clean late game, and given he's a newer runner, it's less likely that this part of the game will be clean, but...
Well, I mean, he should be able to get it with even just not great execution, as long as he doesn't hit an optional or die. I think he's probably not good enough to get sub problemstrol if he dies at all, I would say.
Yeah, it would definitely be difficult.
Whereas maybe like a really good runner like a Pokika or an Xarion could still beat a 156 even with, say, a black belt death from here, but I don't think Osu's going to be doing that.
Not sure when we'll see if he's watching the stream or not.
I'd say like something like not saving before black belt would be a pretty clean indicator.
Yeah, that would be a clean indicator.
He got a
Something
158
really
or whatever already. Yeah, like yeah. So if he doesn't save before black belt, it would be pretty obvious. Looks any time here apart from sub 156, whatever it is, 156.53 is irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. Because
The problem is the 156.53.
Oh yeah. No, actually, no, that's not quite right. Or is it? No, yeah. It's not quite right because there could be a three-way tie between the three of you, and you don't have a better time than problem yet.
Yeah, not currently.
Yeah. So it's possible that if he gets like a mid 157 and then both of you get trolled, then it could matter.
Yeah, it could matter.
It's unlikely though. Obviously, we don't want to see it go down that way. Not saying.
Feeling that forgetting Earthquake now. Because if I had not forgotten Earthquake, I would be in a pretty good shape. But now I actually might need a good time as well.
Hammer also has regrets, although his are based on bracket seeding rather than... There are probably quite a few people with regrets about their seeding or their position.
I would definitely feel a lot
so
better if I was guaranteed to be ahead of problems in this time right now, but now I have to get a decent race. I don't think it's that unlikely to get a sub 156 something. But...
No. But you could definitely see problems still go through in first place. It's possible. It's unlikely at this point, I would say, but it's possible.
Yeah, it's very dependent on, you know, if Osu rips... I mean, if me or Osu rip anything higher than him in the next race, on the last race of the group, then he'll fall to the second.
Yeah.
Or even third. He could fall out, which would be awful. I would feel really bad if he fell out just off the idea that he hit a save state. That would be an awful way to go. We have a accidental save state. We have a blue screen of death this tournament so far.
Yeah, we have 3 blue screens of death, in fact.
3 blue screens of death. I definitely don't feel as bad running on console when I see 3 blue screens of death in the tournament. That's one of the huge advantages to being, or at least investing in console, is you don't really... You can lose your recording, but you don't lose your run.
Yeah. That's kind of the same with save states as well, although you can mostly avoid any chance of save states being a problem.
Yeah, this is probably one of those things he just wasn't expecting to be a problem, and he just, you know, he kind of probably overlooked it and didn't think anything of it. It reminds me when I was running Sapphire on emulator and I mapped my reset button to my controller to make it easier to line up with Eon Timer, and you know, that one time I mess up and then reset my run.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's problems that you don't really think are problems until, you know, it finally happens. And that might be what the problem is facing right now. I have to say it's a little less exciting commentating over a solo run.
Yeah. Our only excitement is whether he's watching the stream and knows to play correctly, or knows to at least try to get a 156.52. And we won't know that for a little while longer. First chance is, as I said, not saving before black belt. If he saves before Sabrina, then I think we can safely assume that he isn't watching. That would be a little too far on the safe side. He did save before Sabrina yesterday. So it's a play that he could make.
From my perspective, this is Like I love seeing this at the same time, but just for me, the sky's the limit for me now because my standing is totally dependent on myself.
Yeah, you can win the group on your own hands, but it's a really, really shitty way for it to end up that way. Granted, I guess you could have continued against Problem and tried to win the race still, so things could have turned out differently anyway.
I probably should have. I didn't know how bad. When I saw his late game after I had forfeit, I would have been more inclined to at least try to finish because it wasn't as strong as what mine would have been. But I also wouldn't have had red bar, so it would have been a steep hill even if I went for it.
Okay, we see Osu saved before Sabrina, so I think we can assume that he's not watching and he's probably not going to beat Problem's time here, so it will come down to that last race. As if it was ever not going to, but that last race
still
will have a good time.
He's taking that's an unnecessary safety save, but we can assume he's not watching at this point. I don't think, unless he's just trying to be, unless he's mocking me. Some people have started saving for Sabrina after my awful death.
Yeah, he'll probably see him save at least 5 more times if this is anything like his last run though, because in the Elite Four yesterday he saved before Bruno, Agatha, Lance and Champion. And obviously he'll save before Black Belt. At this point, knowing that he knows, which is not very much because he's not watching, assumedly, it is the right play to save before Black Belt. But he'll probably save 4 more times after that as well, so that's fairly good seconds gone. At least in terms of the chase for 156.52.
His execution's decent so far. He hasn't lost much time to that, so but he hasn't done many menus. So I guess we'll definitely see how much he's practiced once we get Victory Road. I've seen a lot of runners. That's when you really see how much they practiced late game, is when they get to that point. Did he save for Black Belt? I didn't see one.
Well, he did something before Black Belt. I assume he saved. He didn't move cleanly into the fight. Either way, doesn't need it. And I guess in the interim he also got the Super Potion on the Growlithe because he only has 2 Horn Drills. So he actually does have to switch to Blizzard instead of... You can choose to just mash the A button if you didn't get the Growlithe Super Potion. It is faster to switch no matter what because of the one-hit KO ticks, but when you're not so good on execution and you're not like perfectly switching the moves, it honestly isn't that big of a difference. So... faint chance at 156 is still on the cards. Needs a clean Elite Four, and in general not playing too safe.
Yeah, and if he does play really safe, he probably just needs full red bar, which it can happen, but he cannot play for it. I imagine Osu is really happy though to have just to know he has a chance to move on in the group after coming in so late.
Yeah, if he beats you, then that's that, first in the group. We won't talk about that possibility until it happens or it doesn't happen, but it's there.
I'm rooting for him in the final race.
You don't want to be in the bracket, huh?
I need to practice Coliseum to bomb. It's a more important thing to do. because I've already started practicing another game, so I'm a bit out of practice for Red Bracket. There's no way I will have a chance at standing up to people like Cookie Guy or Hammer. I normally would, but I don't think I've good enough practice to do it right now.
Well, he's got a fair bit of leeway on this 156 stream. It's got about 17 minutes 20 to beat the game from here, or from Giovanni, which doesn't require an amazing Elite Four at all, but it might considering how many times he's going to save. Or at least it'll make it a little harder. So we'll start anyways with Viridian Rival and one more damage range. The last damage range, I think? Like the rest of the game is just hit or miss on a few blizzards, and yeah, it's the last damage range in the game other than if you get hazed, or if you miss Golbat and get hazed, assuming you expect. So, will he get the last damage range? Yes, okay.
That's really good for him. That should help a lot. Gets quite a bit of time there. Saves an entire agility text worth, so...
Well, it's an agility that doesn't actually do anything, it's a nothing happened agility, but yeah, I get your point. It's still a decent amount of time.
Well, one might say almost a save's worth of time. A little less than that. With how safe Osu's playing, he's probably happy with any amount of time that he saves that will...
Let Agatha and Lance decide, because Agatha, seeing as this is not a race and just like an attempt for a certain time, Agatha can still play pretty much as big a role as Lance can.
Oh yeah, Agatha has huge variance. I mean, Agatha doesn't normally outright kill you, but Agatha can definitely kill runs without killing you.
Yeah, you can definitely lose a minute to Agatha, as really bad as that sounds. Like, between either really bad confusion and hypnosis stuff, and just not coming out with good health if you full restore before her. You come out with full...
run recently, the 148.50 had something along the lines of I think it was almost a 2-minute Agatha. Like, Agatha can go anywhere between like a minute and a half to, even upwards of 2 minutes, 15 seconds with enough trolling.
For now, we'll see how his victory rate goes. He did a couple of swag boulders in the last race. We can probably see a couple more here, but don't know for sure. He might just be taking this one really seriously at this point.
It's possible he's seen the situation at some point between when problems forfeited because of the save state and when he saved for Sabrina.
Problems hasn't actually forfeited on SRL yet. Well, he typed .ff, but that doesn't actually do the forfeit. Because there has to be like .forfeit written out fully.
I guess there is some magical world where Osu isn't watching, gets frustrated and forfeits as well, and they both just start over from the beginning, which would be kind of hilarious, but I don't think that'll happen.
Ideal situation for Problem, probably ideal situation for the viewers, but not really likely, and there's no obligation on Osu at all to do anything like that. Especially since this isn't a B-sod either. It is something that's technically under the runner's control, as awkward and annoying and unfair as it may feel. That button was pressed.
No, it's no different than using an extra X-Ack on accident and not having one for champ. It's just, you hit the wrong button at the wrong time and it kills your run. Yeah. Granted, it feels a little different than that, but...
Even for the B-sods, there was no obligation for the winner of the race to rematch. Like, it's...
No.
They all did in the end, or at least... two of them did. The other one didn't bother, but I don't think it was that important. Or it would have played any significant role. But there was absolutely no obligation to do that. Okay, well, rip repel. He's going to have to repel early for sure now. That's quite a lot of extra steps, but no harm done, really. Other than maybe a couple of seconds time loss.
Let's just make sure to see he's cognizant of that. But losing the repel roar off time. I've seen some people mess up movement and still go to the repel roars out.
Yeah. It's only about an extra second if you let it happen, but he is probably cognizant of it being a experienced yellow runner. And the same situation applying there with the repel. We'll see where he opts to use it. Okay, yeah. Does it really early, in fact. So... probably had a few steps left. And then the final push, this is pretty much the best time to do swag boulders, and he goes for the ladder swag boulder and misses it. But does get another one later. Partial redemption. Doesn't go for the second ladder swag boulder. Just gonna play it out from
I think he
here.
learned his lesson there.
The ladder swag boulder is the most impressive swag boulder. Well, I guess you can just do swag boulders in the direction away from a wall as well. And they're pretty equally impressive, but ladder swag boulder is one of the better ones. So we'll see standard Elite 4 here, I imagine. He could still live in 155 with a really good Elite 4. Gonna be difficult, but possible.
He has a bit of leeway to get what he wants here. He should feel really good if he gets the time better than problems here. Pretty sure he's guaranteed to go through if he does, so...
Yeah, he would be. That's weird that it's ended up this way, but...
Not to mention
there.
if problems had not hit that button, he would even be on a minute better pace than this, which would have been fantastic for him as well. That would have been a respectable seed even. Let's see what it'd be. I'd be on 150, easy 155 pace.
Possibly above Hammer, yeah. I mean, the first... Hammer is actually still the worst first seed for the time being. He probably won't end up that way by the end. Because every remaining potential group winner has a worse time right now than he does. So they would need to all get below 155 in their one remaining race. For him to be the number 8 seed. But it's still, like, slightly possible.
Fire does get hit, so it's pretty clean for Osu. Osu will need some damage from Bruno. He definitely wants it.
With the layer on black belt.
Lorelei here.
Skip that Machamp cry.
He did at least cut out the Lorelei save.
If anyone says for Lorelei in this tournament, I will be forever supplying.
Just playing around in Gen 1. It's the same as saving for Sabrina, really.
Osu is like one of the safer runners in the tournament, I would say. He knows.
He does save for Bruno here.
Saving for Bruno is somewhat reasonable. Saving for both Bruno and Agatha a little less reasonable. Although it would have saved me in my race, but
yeah, well...
normally it's not the right play.
Normally you don't get confused and hit yourself 5 times or 4 times and a bunch of nightshades on top of it all.
Slamness, so not a scary chance. Well, prevents the slam crit death, but also means that we get Machamp cry.
Yeah, he'll pop out. It's not a huge deal to not get it here. I think it only loses about a couple seconds.
Yeah, from 37 it's well 36, 37, whatever he gets, it's a Super Potion, I imagine. I think he Super Potioned last race and saved. So even though Fullressor is a safer play, he might be going for Super anyway.
Red bar. I don't know how he's playing it. If he doesn't know problems is forfeited, you know, he might just do the full restore play.
I think he Super Potioned yesterday though, so...
I don't remember how close the race was yesterday. So.
Still has a fair bit of leeway for that 156, 52. There's the super. Yeah, he does have 3 super potions, so even if he needs 2 for once, he's still fine, and I think he has 3-4 potions, so he will always be able to get to 130, even if he comes out of Agatha on barely anything. And then he'll have the full restore for Champion Sky Attack, if it comes down to that. Okay, how's Agatha going to go? It'll be an X-Spec. We saw that yesterday as well.
People are finally starting to X-Spec Agatha, which I definitely agree with. They were X-Specing it for
Flute. These non-red bar pokey flutes are setting him back by quite a bit. There's the Nightshade now, so
that's
dead
good.
to the final Gengar is the problem now. He does have enough health to make the X-Speed on Arbok play though.
We'll see what he goes for here. I mean, if he heals for the last, maybe he's aware of his situation and he'll just go for it.
Red bar for these pokes will save a little bit of time.
And frankly, 133 for Gyarados is also really good. So
yeah, he might go for X-Speed.
Good situation.
Does not, so he's YOLOing. 3 and 8. No, he's not 3 and 8 to die because yesterday he was dead to hit Self and Confusion immediately. This time he's not. But yeah, okay, so probability wins out and he's fine. Getting a little lucky, but not. I mean, he did get hit by Hypnosis twice first, so.
Yeah, he's favorable to live from there.
Yeah. That's like. Not.
But he must know that Problems is forfeited. I don't think he would have taken that risk otherwise. But he did save before Agatha.
Yeah. I mean, he might just not know that X-Speed on Arbok is an option as well. That is a possibility.
That's true.
It has been like raised as an option in routing, and he does follow routing a lot, but I don't know honestly. So he does go for 133, which means he might have to use up some of his potions before Champion.
Yeah, 133 is really good.
5. I mean, no, he won't be on 5 because he levels up once, but if he's on, say, 9, he might opt to potion once. Or even maybe twice. Or might just save on 9. Yesterday he was at extremely low health, he saved first and then decided to full restore after the save. So it's interesting. It's another situation where that might happen. Although this time he's on 21.
I get crit. His health is really good too.
Yeah, so this is actually, well, okay, not 155, but low 156 pace if Champion, so this could be trouble for Problems. Low 156 pace if it's first try Champion. If it's not, if he dies, well, okay. Forget I said anything until this fight is over. I forgot.
Blizzards.
Yeah. He's got 2 chances at Dragonite. So 1 in 100 that we get the triple T-Bolt.
Just hope he's not.
He's not me. 1 in 100 that this goes bad. And it does not. Okay, good.
It's scary for Problems, but it's also, I have to say it's also scary for me, because this forces me to get a 156-50 or better, which I don't think is difficult, but...
If you get a bad Mount Moon, then...
It's like, it's one of those things where it's in the realm of happening. Like, you could get bad luck and not beat that time, which is scary for me.
Okay, this time he saves and doesn't full restore, which is, yeah, the correct play in the circumstances. He wasn't good. He probably just full restored last time because he realised he was dead to a single wing attack. But this time he's not, especially if he X-Speeds first. Although I don't think he even has to. He might have to be guaranteed to survive the non-crit wing attack. Does X-Speed first regardless. Whirlwind, ideal, so now he's only dead to crit wing attack, and Whirlwind. Okay, yeah. Done deal.
Really clean, and he'll actually get a really good time here. He's actually guaranteed his passage through the group now.
Yep.
barring he doesn't get a blue screen of death, or I don't want to jinx anything, but
We don't want it to happen this way, but it has, and now it comes down to that final race. And your fate is in your own hands, but
my fate is in my own hands.
also kind of in his, because if he beats you, then it's not in your hands.
True. It's still in my hands.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can just beat him, but you can't just only focus on the time. That's the thing. You also
Yeah,
have to lose.
beat Osu and beat 156.52.
Yeah, that will be the task.
Should be too difficult. So confident.
This was amazingly clean Elite Four, so Problems might not have had such a clean Elite Four, especially because he was not necessarily in great shape to die to Boom. He still had 110 health going into the gym, so...
It's very possible that Osu would have caught up with how clean his late game was. Pretty much everything that he needed to happen happened, and a lot of things went well.
Yeah, it's possible
only
that,
troll was
that
the
this
Agatha.
might have not changed anything. But you never want to see it go down this way, and we're just kind of throwing out theories of how it could have or not could have gone, but it might soften the
Osu's
blow
got
a little bit.
PB by a fair amount here.
Yeah, this is a
Couple minutes.
PB for sure. We'll get him in to talk. I imagine he'll have some stuff to say about how that run went. Oh, Problems in the waiting room as well. It looks like we'll have them both in at the same time. We'll just wait for Osu to finish up. Or we can bring in Problem now. Don't really mind either way. If he's listening and wants to come in. But probably just wait for Osu.
Low
So he should be
156.
shortly. Okay, yeah, they're both in the waiting room now. So...
Drag him in here.
drag them both in. Okay. Okay. Welcome to both runners.
Just a second.
I
How you
we'll
doing,
just
guys?
talk to
Okay.
Osu first.
Okay, now I'm here to.
Hey. Good race,
Congrats on
man.
the PB, Osu.
Oh, thank you. What happened, Problems? I saw, like, when I was around the
Welcome
Koga split,
to
we
both
were
runners.
I was probably a minute behind you, I think. And then I saw the title
We
screen.
just talked to
Okay.
I
I just
Osu
misclicked on low stage on the emulator, so
Oh.
okay, now I just lost my entire run, so I just have to forfeit.
Congrats on the PB.
I got
But
you.
this-
That sucks, man.
This will
I-
not happen again. Now I just disable these inputs. No problem.
were- It's kind of that thing where you don't actually know it's a problem until it finally happens, and we really thought that probably is what happened to you. That was probably the first time you've accidentally loaded a save state in a run.
Yes,
That sucks, man. It was a really good race up until then.
that was pretty good. I'm like 1 minute on you, but it was really an advantage that can go away pretty easily. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was a
that
really
one-
good race until I fuck it up. But
Oh,
okay.
sorry to hear that, man. I've done it. Yeah, I've forced myself to unbind the save and load state from my controller before any races.
Yeah, man, that was sad. So I was like just to pick my water to drink some, but and just like hit the keys. But that was sad. But that's okay. It was totally my fault. So I'm not.
Hey, you still have a good chance of getting to the next round because I think
Yes.
what you 2-1 now.
Yeah, I'm 2-1.
Okay.
I guess Paper Guy has to win on you and also get better than my best time. That is 156.53, I guess.
Okay.
That's what we came up with. Osu actually secured his passage through the group. Coming up from the bottom here.
Oh wow, I did.
Yeah, well, you have the best time in the group and you're 2-1, so there's no way you can.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're just counting a win for yourself?
No,
Yeah,
if
not-
you beat him, then you win
just called
anyway.
me 2-1, man.
I didn't call you
Oh yeah,
2-1.
he did.
I said you were guaranteed. Yeah, I'm calling the win. You're gonna lose it.
Oh, throwing down the gauntlet. I see how it is.
Assuming I get to race at all. Really depends on what Charter has to say about that.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Anything? There wasn't too much that went on in your guys' runs that were. So you had a pretty clean run, minus your one mistake in Moon where you messed up the manip. But
Yeah, I missed an A press.
yeah, that's what the Bond said. He said that Zubat right before the ladder is the result of that. But that was really the only thing that really went wrong. You guys had pretty clean runs.
Yeah, I was upset that I died to Misty, but nothing I can do about that.
You miss Moon Manip? I didn't watch you miss Moon Manip.
Yeah, I missed Moon Manip by missing an A press, and I got an encounter right before the ladder after the Moonstone. So it was early enough that it didn't cost me as much time as it could have. So.
You guys both got decently trolled by sand attacks and switch outs. Problems got it a little worse, but the runs were very similar. And I think without that Moon Manip fail, it would have been very, very close for the entirety.
And the Misty Death, don't forget that.
Yeah, the Misty Death as well. So those two things together would have pretty much made it even.
Yeah. I saw that I was able to get red bar off of Surge, and I think, where did you get it off of in Rock Tunnel? Because I saw you didn't have it going in.
I did have Slowpoke, I guess. Yes, it was on Slowpoke. on this time I was thinking about don't get it, but like I don't know why. I just mashed it to a Bulbian.
Problems had a lot of issues getting damage on that split. I think he pretty much went damageless even from I think Rival to Slowpoke, so it was interesting.
Yeah, I think I started that split after my second Misty, with like 49 or 59. Something
yeah,
like
it was
that.
really high health. You got X defend into critical, so you had a damageless Misty. So
that was pretty intense. My health after missing, because I get created by Heredit with quick attack and get like to 3 health, and I have 2 heal. After that, I didn't get any damage at all. So.
Yeah, I saw that the Eradicate crit you, and then you pushed and got no damage. You get red barred. It got really close there for a second. There was one thing I was asking. Did you heal for Rival on purpose, or did you know that you were fine? No,
for Tower Rival?
Tower Rival.
I didn't think I was fine. I thought I needed 19 in order to take a quick attack and a Vine Whip.
Yeah, we were just curious. So if you do get quick attack there, you do have the option to heal on Growlithe or some variant of that.
Okay.
I was just curious.
That's something that I didn't know was a option.
It's a pretty safe red bar, but at the same time, doing what you did give you a hit to tank Ghastly, so it's not off.
Man, the last time that I did that, I got Amber on Growlithe and got burned. That was so bad, man. I was thinking exactly the same on this thread, but I get so much punished.
I've honestly never gotten burnt on in red anyway.
And also,
yeah, I guess my thought behind that was I could also not save going into the Ghastlies by doing that.
Yeah, if you can tank one Nightshade, you have plenty of wiggle room in terms of being able to full restore if something goes wrong.
Yeah, after Oddish you both actually had identical health. It's just the Problem got an extra quick attack, and so he was a little more sketchy going into tower. But you both opted to heal before the fight anyway.
Yeah, my heart jumped in my throat when I missed that Oddish range. Because I don't... Actually, I think I would have lived on 1 with 2 absorbs if I got Stun Spore. But it wasn't... I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking, oh shit.
That's what most people think when they miss that Oddish.
Yeah. And I think I got a really low roll too, because I don't know if I've seen the Oddish live with that much health.
It's amazing how tanky Oddish is, really.
I was lucky enough to get the 4-turn Thrash, though.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We thought you really needed Bat. Honest. But you always really need it. There's just no way around that fight.
Without Mega Punch, it's just a scary fight.
Are we pretty much done here, or do we have something else to say?
By Osu. I'm pretty sure that was a PB, right?
Yeah, it was 2 minutes and 20-second PB.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Big PB then.
Yeah, I'm happy with my run. Just wish I didn't die to Misty, that's all.
I think it would have been a very, very tight race at the end, considering just how much fell in your way towards the end. Like, even with problems having that 1 minute lead.
The only thing that didn't fall my way is the slam missed.
Yeah.
On Bruno, but
that's
nothing.
And 2 hypnosis hits, but then after that...
Yeah, a little troll on Agatha.
Yeah, but you did get the good roll on the last Ghastly, and you did not die there, so... So that last Gengar is scary when you do X special strats. But the Golbat's obviously worse, so...
Yeah, I've thought about that long and hard between speed and special, and I think special is probably the right play.
Yeah, it's a very fine margin either way.
Yeah, because Haze is just... I think Haze is scarier than that last Gengar. Because you have to deal with that last Gengar anyways if you get Haze.
Yeah, but then add in the speed tie with the Haunter.
Very true. Yeah.
I've lost 2 turns to that.
So tomorrow we have one match for now. I think there might end up being a second one scheduled, because they're definitely talking about a Gunnar Maniac Kailovich match as well. But there's me versus Gunnar at 8 PM tomorrow. For now, and if Kylo Gunnar does get scheduled before that, then it will probably just be a playoff for a playoff place. If it doesn't, then there are some other weird things that can happen, but yeah, tune in for that. It looks like right now it's got scheduled for the Speed Gaming main channel. Yeah, I think otherwise we are done with this race. Any final thoughts from the runners?
No. Good. Sucks that it ended the way it did. Problems, but good race up until Koga. I was really excited to keep that going neck and neck.
Yeah, pretty good to you too. I guess you get like a little bit less lucky than me on the start, but you managed to get a pretty good time even then. So nice.
And I'll do my best to beat Paper Guys so that you can move on.
Okay,
well, that's impossible. I don't understand.
Does not compute.
Alright, so yeah, tune in again for Pokemon tomorrow and various other games in the meantime. Until then, see you all later.
See ya.
See.
Bye.